Digimon World Next Order from 2016 has very unique RPG elements, in which you raise two Digimon to become as strong as possible in a sort of pet simulator game. In Digimon World Next Order, you enter the Digiworld as Takuto, the male character, or Shiki if you choose the female character, and go adventuring into this big open world with your Digimon partners. There is something evil happening, and it's up to us to find out what's going on and help rebuild the city of Floatia. The game clearly had the objective to replicate and enhance the experience provided by the 1999 PS1 game Digimon World. In that game, you played as a boy who fell into the Digiworld apparently on accident, and is now the only one who can help rebuild File City in order to return to the real world. Digimon World was at its best when you finally managed to get your Digimon to Digivolve. The expectation on what kind of Digimon you would get was addictive, especially if you managed to Digivolve into an ultimate form. However, the complete mystery on what your Digimon needed to Digivolve could be soul crushing, especially considering that at the time, the internet was not into its full popularity yet, so checking guides was not really reliable. I even remember as a kid Digivolving my weakest and strongest Digimon into a Sukamon, a Digimon that's literally poop, without understanding what was happening. In a similar way, Digimon World Next Order tried to keep that surprise factor in play, while still providing the player with enough information to progress not only in the game's narrative, but also in the information they needed to Digivolve into that very special Digimon. Guys, I just finished training the last stats I had info of. I think it's Garudamon. Come on, gamers! Oh my god! Oh my god, I did it! I finally did it! When the game starts, you have absolutely no information about your Digivolutions. You don't know what your partners can turn into, or what aspects will influence their Digivolution paths. However, the player will naturally interact with their Digimon during their lifespan, which will slowly but permanently open up their paths to all possible evolutions. Long story short, you still begin your adventure full of surprises, not knowing which Digimon you can get, and that can be really exciting. And you can actually keep all information hidden for the entirety of your gameplay if you want to, by choosing the ignore option when you get an interaction. But if that's not your style, you will naturally get more and more information as you play, allowing you to work hard to get your favorite Digimon as the game progresses. With that said, Digimon World Next Order is not just about Digivolving. That's the best part in my opinion, but after you get those incredibly strong partners, you will probably want to enjoy the rest of the game. The battles, the adventures, the quests, the exploring, but we can talk about all of those in detail later. Quick disclaimer, this video will contain spoilers for the gameplay and for the story of Digimon World Next Order. With that out of the way, let's start with some gameplay aspects. In Digimon World Next Order, we are responsible for two Digimon partners. We must feed them, allow them to rest, take them to the bathroom, or not, and train them to be powerful enough to reach their final form of Digivolution, the Mega form, in order to explore the Digiworld and save it. However, you can, and probably will, explore and progress the game even before you reach the Mega form, since some quests are not that hard and would require only a champion or ultimate level Digimon to be completed safely. But I assure you that it is very unlikely that you will finish the main story without Mega Digimon. It's very important to remember though that your Digimon will inevitably die. You either didn't train them correctly so they became unfit for any Digivolution, or maybe they became as strong as they could, but now their time has come, so they fade and move on. In both cases, they turn into a Digi-Egg of your choice, and restart the whole process of raising them. Long story short, this is the cycle of life of a Digimon in this game. They are born babies, then they turn into training forms, after that they become a rookie, and now basically they exist. The rookies will digivolve into champions, and those into ultimates. If you train your ultimates in very specific manners, they will digivolve into megas. The only guaranteed digivolution is champion. If you're not ready for an ultimate, a champion Digimon will simply die and go back to Digi-Egg. If you do not take care of your Digimon correctly, such as not feeding your Digimon or not allowing them to sleep, they will not die, but your wrong action will count as a training failure, or TF for short, and that will also influence on the kind of Digimon you can get. You won't be able to digivolve into Angimon, for example, if you have more than 3 training failures. On the other hand, the Devil Digimon Devimon requires at least 1 training failure to digivolve into it. However, if you have 10 or 20 training failures, or even more than that, your Digimon is still fit to become Devimon. As I have mentioned before, trying to get a strong Digimon in the PS1 game could be a brutal process. Once you got the wrong Digimon, or once your Digimon died, you would be crushed with that terrible feeling, knowing that it would mean hours of grind just until you got another try. Digimon World Next Order addresses that issue by giving you 2 starting Digimon, making your learning curve twice as fast and allowing you to obtain more Digimon in a shorter period of time. It can be weird at the start, especially if you're familiar with the first Digimon World like me, but if you come into it with an open mind, it just makes sense eventually, especially considering that DNA Digivolution requires 2 Digimon. And I would say that DNA Digivolving is already a must-have in a Digimon game. In case you're a newcomer to the Digimon world, the DNA Digivolution is when 2 Digimon connect to each other to become a stronger version of themselves. This mechanic has been present since Digimon World 2, so I don't think it's going anywhere at this point. So this is why I wanted to get specifically where Greymon and Metalgarurumon, because if there are 2 Digimon in this world who are compatible, these are the ones. What? Wow. That's Omegamon, of course. Additionally, if you don't have any strong fire ability and you get a fire Digimon, you still have your second partner, which can help make up for that by having a more experienced elemental type, with many strong abilities available. We'll talk about how the abilities work in the section about battles. Another very important improvement in raising Digimon compared to Digimon World 1 is that the main form of improving your Digimon stats is no longer training all day long at the gym until you reach that threshold for the next Digivolution. The gym is still available, but the most efficient way to boost your partners to parameters is to fight. As long as you're not overpowered compared to the enemy, you will get as much stats as the gym or more. But most importantly, time does not pass in battle, while each training takes a full hour to do. That change might seem pretty small, but that allows you to fulfill the battle requirements for the Digivolution, make your Digimon stronger, learn new moves, and explore the new areas, all at the same time. Now that I have mentioned the battles, it's time to talk about the fighting system. Let's go! At first, the battling system seemed a bit too simple and unimpressive to me, and that's mostly because that's how it is. But, and that's a big but, that seems to be the way designers intended, because as you ramp up your tamer level, you can unlock very helpful battle commands such as guard, more abilities for each Digimon, and buffs to other mechanics. That means you have very limited commands when the game starts, but as you get more comfortable with the system, you can unlock more choices and therefore more complexity to the fights. This design choice not only feels really good the more you play the game, but it's also positive for the player's learning curve. Another unique battle mechanic from this game is the order power. The idea behind Digimon and Tamer fighting together was always present in every Digimon franchise. The Digimon fights with power, and the Tamer guides their partner with their heart and wisdom. The order power mechanic fits perfectly into this idea. If you don't do anything, your Digimon will keep fighting, using abilities as it wishes, but there is always a general guidance that you can define for each Digimon. Spending a lot of MP, which usually will make your Digimon prioritize their strongest abilities, spending MP in a balanced way, or spending as little MP as possible. However, that's definitely not how battles are meant to be played here. As a tamer, you can give orders to your Digimon, although every order will require a predetermined amount of order power. To get order power, you need to praise your Digimon in battle by pressing the action button at the right moment. And the right moment is when your Digimon actually accomplished something in the fight, blocked an ability, connected an attack of their own, or successfully used a buff. Once you have gathered sufficient order power, you can command your Digimon to use a specific ability, Guard, once that has been unlocked. You can use that Digimon's agitation ability, which is usually a buff, or you can stack some more order power in order to perform their signature move. Being able to know when to use the signature move is essential, since these moves are usually very powerful, and once you command your Digimon to perform it, they're completely immune until the attack is fully finished. That can be used quite easily actually to avoid a lot of damage. He's doing something! Special move. Okay, right on time. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, he has, I believe, 2 AoE attacks. I didn't see any single targets yet. Okay, that was some damage right there. You can even avoid an enemy's signature move by using yours. After watching some reviews for Digimon World Next Order, it seems like most people believe that the player exerts very little control over what happens in battle, but I strongly disagree. There were several moments in which I felt like I was punished by playing the fight poorly, and other times when I believe I should not have won a battle, but good guarding and attacking management led me to victory. After all, you can easily check which of your Digimon is being focused by the enemy. So if you only block with that Digimon while it's being attacked, you take insignificant damage no matter how powerful your opponent is. There are other mechanics involved in the battling system like elemental weaknesses, AoE versus single target abilities, hitboxes, abnormal statuses, and others, giving the player a lot of room for learning and getting better. This learning curve generally feels really smooth, even though it gets pretty unforgiving by the end of the game. Still, I did not need to try too hard or grind too much to beat the game, even playing on normal mode. I believe this is a good moment to mention that I have posted my complete edited playthrough of this game on my channel, so if you're interested, feel free to check it out. The quality is not that great since I was just starting my channel, but I hope you can enjoy it anyways. Your head was a bit off. I think this is it. Unshakable proof. Accept your punishment for bullying the children. Harsis. Alright, the jig is up. But today I have a special attack that will knock your stupid socks off. Okay. Evil never prospers. Case closed. Okay. I went into the game completely blind, so you can witness my first impressions of the game as I go. So, back to the battling system. Another battle mechanic that I need to mention in this video is how you learn abilities. There are 7 different skills for each element, and 9 different elements with a total of 63 possible skills to learn in the game. Your Digimon cannot learn all elements though. A hand-to-hand Digimon like Black Garurumon, for instance, can only learn hand-to-hand skills, 1 ice skill, and 2 fire skills. It may sound like a lot, but once you learn an ability, it becomes available forever. And here's the uniqueness of this game's ability system. If you want to learn a new move, you must find a wild Digimon that possesses that move, and once they use it in battle, there's a chance you can learn it for yourself. This makes the process of learning a new ability something proactive that you, as a player, has decided to do. In my opinion, that is way more interesting than just getting a new move as you level up. This system is the same as in Digimon World from 1999, but with improvements. You can now even learn an ability that your Digimon cannot currently use, making it less frustrating than its predecessor. This is another aspect in which Digimon World Next Order was successful in being an improved version of Digimon World. It is also relevant to mention how you get into fights. All normal enemy fights happen as the wild Digimon touches the main character. Once you get close to their territory, they might get angry at you and the music instantly ramps up to let you know that the wild Digimon will now come aggressively towards you. Even avoiding these Digimon has its own learning curve, since the first locations in the map are pretty open and allow you to easily go in the opposite direction. But as the game progresses, some roads are narrow and might make it much more difficult to dodge the enemy. By the end of my playthrough, I was actually impressed with how much the designers managed to balance this mechanic in the game. Another fun aspect about encounters is that once in a while, you will randomly find these huge versions of Digimon, which are called king-sized. I would like to call your attention to this one, because I absolutely loved this. These king-sized Digimon, as you would expect, are much stronger than their normal versions. But they also give you a much bigger reward as well, making these fights actually something to look forward to, since it breaks the monotony of normal enemies and offers you a juicy prize in case you are successful. As a final mention for the battling system, it was also a very nice touch that once your Digimon are a lot stronger than the wild Digimon from a particular area, those enemies simply avoid fighting you themselves, making navigation a lot less of a chore for not having to dodge or fight small and irrelevant battles. Since we are talking about navigation, it's time for our next gameplay topic. Once I started opening up the map by getting powerful Digimon, I started to feel uneasy on how much walking I would have to do to reach the furthest places. However, most areas branch out of the main hub starting area, 9 planes. Surprisingly, not once have I felt bored by having to go somewhere by walking. The pickups along the way, the eventual battles here and there, and even unexpected quests always made the trips enjoyable. Another positive aspect of walking from spot A to spot B in this game is one of the best ideas to complement this game. One that combines battles, RPG elements, and navigation all at once, the runner-tamer skills. If you have played this game, you know what I'm talking about, and how much it helps making this game feel so smooth to play. If you have not, here's a quick explanation. If you level up this tamer skill, you can heal your Digimon by walking. After getting the maxed upgrade on this skill, I would fully heal my Digimon simply by walking towards my destination, saving a lot of money and time by giving them healing items until they were back to full. I honestly don't know if I only appreciate this mechanic so much only because I remember how miserable it felt to explore in the first game, or if the other new players also felt the huge difference this skill made. But I can safely say that this mechanic is one of the top 3 of best innovations compared to the game from 1999. Still, if traveling by walking bothers you, the traveling systems are really well done and well balanced, and can make your life considerably easier. In addition to that, from the start you receive free daily autopilots, a consumable item that instantly returns you to Floatia, the starting city. They can make your life a lot easier, but if you abuse it too much, you can run out of autopilots fairly quickly. As you build the city though, it becomes even easier to get autopilots, as you unlock stores where you can buy them, and Digimon who gives you free autopilots after you use the traveling system a few times. Talking about growing the city, I think it's about time we discuss one of the best parts of this game, recruiting Digimon to Floatia. Floatia? Floatia? Heck, I don't know. When we begin our journey, the main city Floatia, I still don't know how to say that, but the city is not even a real city yet. It's more like a small town, but in a good way. You feel like you know every single inhabitant Digimon, you understand exactly where to find them, and how each one of them can assist you in your quest. It's a cozy, familiar feeling that helps portray Floatia as your home, the place where you can always get back to and be safe. As you learn the game mechanics, the humble size of the city is welcome because it is just a safe spot where you can heal, rest, and learn about the game and about the Digi World, instead of yet another thing to navigate through, understand, or master. But as you're recruiting more and more Digimon, growth is inevitable. And by that point in the game, that growth is also very welcome because you do start to feel the need of more support than the little old Floatia town could provide. Once I came back to the city with an autopilot, the city had grown bigger. Look at this! The city is so cool! Oh, this place is so big now, I love this! Holy, do I get more meat now? Cubimon, did you make a hospital? What do you think of this hospital, Takoto? The city needs a place like... Yes! I don't have some stuff yet. A warehouse? Man, this game is so good! I'm loving this so much. Okay, and builder. Now you have a lot more space and a lot more services. Floatia really starts to reflect directly how much your work as a tamer has paid off. The only issue with that is that now that the city is huge, navigating through it starts to feel like a chore, right? Wrong, actually. The designers saw that coming and made a fast travel system specifically for the larger version of Floatia, in which you can easily choose the location you wish to go immediately. Pretty neat, huh? I even dare to say that every single complaint I had about the game thus far was vanquished by the new helpers. I can now buy rare items in the shop with Wurgarurumon, choose my favorite Digivolution with Grappleomon, accelerate my training at the gym with Kabuterimon, and even boost my money generation with Etimon's stock market. And believe me, this is only a fraction of everything Floatia offers by the end of the game. But of course, we cannot talk about the Digimon at the city without mentioning the recruitment part. Most Digimon require either a fight or a little quest to convince them to go to the city, but not all of them are instantly available at the start. Sometimes coming to a very familiar place for the 20th time will surprise you with a new recruitable Digimon. As I have already mentioned before, this is one of the reasons why navigating between locations can be a lot of fun in Digimon World Next Order. The methods of sending them to the city may sound repetitive, either a fight or a quest. But, at least to me, it never got boring, especially because they sometimes have different rules for the fights, and varied types of quests. For example, Mech Galgamon requires you to defeat him in under 60 seconds, so this time you cannot just be blocking and waiting for your special move, or you might run out of time. Okay, what I'll try to do is digivolve as fast as possible, and then I'll try to kill him fast. Where's the timer though? Let's do it, let's do it. Okay. Shine Greymon. Burst mode. Do your thing. I think this is the only way you can beat him that fast. Oh my god! I did not need that. Fireball. Just kill him. There we go. Oh my god, that was such an overkill, dude. Another battle that catches you off guard is the Black Agumon and Black Gabumon fight. I know, you can't really recruit them to the city, but even as a side quest, having them digivolve after getting defeated and forcing you to have a rematch is a really cool touch, even if they did humble me by doing so. Since I lost this fight, it's a good moment to mention that being defeated in battle is never too much of a punishment. You are just sent back to Floatia, and your relationship with your Digimon gets mildly damaged. That incentivizes the player to just explore and try things out, which makes the experience a lot more enjoyable. Now, as for the Digimon that you recruit through quests, let's see Renamon and Seadramon for example. Both require you to catch fish for them. However, while Renamon's quest is at the start of the game, and just requires you to go to the first fishing place you ever find in the game and grab the fish you want, Seadramon requires 3 different fish, which will require that you understand where you can find those 3 fish, navigate to each location, and go fishing until you grab the fish you need in each spot. Although the essence of the quest is the same, Grab Fish X, the Renamon quest is an official introduction to the fishing mechanic, while Seadramon quest is a sort of a skill check to see if you have been using said mechanic, and test how much you know about it. They are similar, yes, but so distant in skill level that they feel less like a repetition and more like a progression. This is the perfect moment to briefly mention the fishing in this game. It's a very simple system in which you throw your bait into the water and wait for a bite. Press the action button when the bite happens and you've got yourself a fish. In my experience with Next Order, fishing is the only mechanic that was more fun and more interesting in Digimon World 1. Don't take me wrong, I'm glad it exists here and it's fun, but it's also really simple and honestly not memorable. As a final topic for the rebuilding of Floatia, I should discuss the upgrades you can do in the city. You see, as you navigate through the Digiworld, you will find these shining spots from which you can extract materials: minerals, metals, wood, or liquid. There are many types of rarities for each of those, and together they allow you to upgrade each establishment in the city. You can upgrade the shop and make it sell better items. You can upgrade the fishing spot to get more special fish, or you can open more space for farming in order to get more food. These are just a few examples. Keep in mind that every single upgrade comes with a visual touch as well, so you'll feel the upgrade way more directly. Now, as the city flourishes, so does the story in the game, which is our next topic for this video. Let's go! The story in Digimon World Next Order is nothing to write a book about, I'll be honest, but it does have some care put into it in order not to interfere with the very well developed gameplay. I'll explain what I mean. Very often, the story includes exploring new areas, or just tells you that you need to recruit more Digimon to Floatia before progressing. The story is always tailored to motivate exploration and adventure, which is what the player would want to do anyways. The premise is simple. There is some evil stuff happening in the Digi World and we have to put an end to it with the help of all Digimon in the city. I could easily see the story trying too hard and forcing you to go here and there just to progress the narrative, but that never happened in this game. You can always explore the world freely. Even though the story is nothing special, I did feel connected to some of the moments, especially Kota and his partner Yukimura, the deeply voiced Guilmon.
俺の名は雪村。こちらはパートナーのコウタ。
If you have not played this game, or if you don't remember the story, here's a quick recap. While the main character and Himari, the girl on the team, are getting stronger and digivolving, Kota has barely managed to help Yukimura once into his champion form Growlmon. Because of that, Kota starts to feel left behind and almost useless compared to the others.
Yukimura! もう一度だ!
Oh, they're training.
おう、エキゾーストフライム!
これは俺と雪村の問題だ。ほら、どうした雪村？もう終わりなのか？
Oh my god, I'm going to beat Yukimura? When he's tired?
まだ。コウタ。
What does that mean?
お前が望むのなら。
Is he going to become something dark? Oh no, Machine Draymon.
踏ん張れ、雪村。自我を失いさえしなければ、その力がお前のものになるんだ。
Oh god.
雪村、何やってるんだ。呪いなんてねじ伏せちまえ。
Yeah, sure. Oh. Oh sh. Oh sh. He pushed him too hard. He became the dark side. Oh no. Hurting your best friend with your good intentions is something that I can really relate to, and I believe most people can too. By the end of the main narrative though, Yukimura is reborn and Kota has learned from his past mistakes. Their bond is even stronger and they become even more powerful together. Kota's journey is not complex by any means, but it does touch on some very realistic issues that we might have with some close friends too. And the development of this story with Yukimura is pretty satisfying to follow. In conclusion, the story is there, and it's a nice way to make the narrative flow ahead. There's no great plot, but we do feel like we are working towards something important. Even though I do feel like sometimes Himari and Kota are just waiting for us to do all the hard work. Kota and Himari are going to do their first useful thing? Okay. Oh my god, they're strong! I just casually walk through them. I was honestly really surprised when I found out the game came out in 2016, almost a decade ago. The models for Digimon were a lot better than I was expecting. They look absolutely beautiful. All Digimon looked as good or better than their versions from previous games. I was also really excited to see all different variations of the Digimon also present in the game. What I mean is that they have included Gabumon and Psychemon, Hagurumon and Solarmon, Ogremon and Fugamon, and so on. You get the idea. All of them look great and offer you even more ways to express your personality as a Digimon tamer. The most important part of the game's graphic design was the Digimon and the developers clearly understood that. Although the different areas in Digimon World Next Order are not super detailed, each location has its own atmosphere. The green grass of Nine Plains, the sandy yellow of Server Desert, the fiery red Logic Volcano, the dark waters of Mod Cape, the dry land of Ogino Wastelands, the gloomy nighttime style of Boney Resort, the white vastitude of Absolute Zero, the heavy machinery in Faulty Ex Machina, and the digital green inside Infinite Cauldron. It is done in such a way that if you get a random screenshot from any area, you immediately know what location it is. Don't get me wrong, okay? This game's world design is no Elden Ring. What I mean to say is that even though the area design might not be the strength of this game, we can still notice quite a few touches of love and attention that went into it. I think the main problem was that since this game was first developed and released for the PS Vita, a portable console, I believe they were limited in how much stuff they could add in the landscape, especially the more purely aesthetic aspects, like more things going on in the sky, a lot of detail, more objects, and maybe other stuff they could have added. On a handheld game, if those things had been added, maybe it would compromise the stability of the game. But hey, I'm no game designer, so who knows what really happened. Thing is, there was clearly a lot of love put into other graphic parts of the game, like the Digimon for example, so I don't personally believe that the lack of detail on the areas are due to laziness or lack of talent. That wraps it up for me in the graphic aspect. It's time for our final topic of this video. As I have mentioned in the previous section, after playing over 100 hours of Digimon World Next Order, it was clear to me that the Digimon design was in high priority when it was in development, and another aspect that points to that direction are the sound effects. As far as I could tell, every single Digimon has their unique sounds. You know which of your Digimon is mad, sad, or hungry, or wants to use the toilet just by the sound they are making.
Oh man, this is getting scary. He's so sad, man. Look at him. Maybe he's actually turning into Numemon, and that's kind of scary. He looks so sad, man.
Still in the sound effect subject, I really appreciated that they kept the same menu choose and select sounds from the original Digimon World game. It sounds clicky, digital, and, of course, nostalgic. Even Takuto's or Shiki's footsteps feel nice and smooth in the background of the game, along with ambient sounds and the Digimon noises. As a note for this section, I don't want to pretend that I have a deep understanding of sound effects or anything, I just wanted to mention what was really nice about that in my personal opinion. Now, in the music department, maybe some people would disagree with me, but the more I played this game, the more I grew fond of this game's soundtracks. And there's no better place to start than the Digivolution theme. It's really simple, but in a positive way, considering that Digivolving is probably the best part of this game. In Digimon World 1, Digivolution happened with no music at all, and it was still a memorable experience from the original. Having simple but exciting music going on in the background in Next Order really adds an extra spice to the moment. It's very important that this Digivolution music be very simple, because you'll be hearing this a lot during your playthrough. Let's make a comparison between the two. Nostalgia aside, the new version feels quite better, doesn't it? The hype of the music really fits the hype of the moment of digivolving your Digimon. I'm not going to mention all music present in this game, but I will mention the ones that I think enhanced my experience in a special way. As an additional note, all music used as background for this video, for a reference, was from the Digimon World Next Order original soundtrack. None of them were bad as I was looking through them. To start up, I'd like to show you the music that plays when you use the EXE Digivolution, which is basically the NA Digivolution from before, but only during the fight. After the fight, your Digimon go back to being two separate Digimon, and things go back to normal. That's the same song that plays when you first open up the game. Accentier by Air Aoi? Something like that. Before I say anything, I would like you to hear a bit for yourselves. This song really hyped me up for my first EXE Digivolution, especially because it was completely out of the blue for me. It was a perfect surprise, but I cannot deny that if you hear it too often, it does start to make me wish that the song would be instrumental only. It can get pretty annoying, and I did hear some complaints about it when I was searching about the game. In my personal experience though, it was never frequent enough to actually bother me. Another piece that really caught my attention was the Nine Planes theme. No matter how much I have already played the game, the music playing in the background every time I left the city for a new adventure always set me on a great mood to begin my gaming session. Another highlight is the music for normal encounters, which I have actually heard people use for background of gaming videos before. I would say that it hits its purpose right at the spot. Not too hypey because it's a normal fight after all, and not too slow either. Just enough to make a good background music for a regular fight. I also must talk about the boss fight music that was remixed from the original Digimon World game. The music was already awesome in 1999. It got you pumped for that tough boss fight, and now in Digimon World Next Order, they made the amazing decision to keep it, but in a remixed version. Here's a comparison. Ooh, I already want to kick some digibutts just by listening to this. Something else that was borrowed from the first game was the themes for the city, both day and night, but again with a little bit of a remix. They really have this feeling of home and coziness, which is what we would expect to have in a calm city like Floatia. Whatever. I also give the city theme some extra points for nostalgia, obviously. And now, even though you didn't ask for it, I'll show you my top 3 list of favorite new mechanics, and by that I mean mechanics that were not included in the 1999 Digimon World game. There are many improvements in the gameplay in general, but I would like to bring up only the best ones. They're in no particular order because I could not decide which one was better or worse, so here we go. The Healing Shoes. As I mentioned before in the video, this game can get pretty difficult by the end of the game, but the Healing Shoes tamer skill makes your life a lot less frustrating, and it gives you a way to recover without spending all of your money in recovery items. It's a very powerful effect, but it's not completely free since you cannot use the traveling system to move faster if you need to heal back to full. Otherwise, if you were out of money and your Digimon were weak, the only option you would have if you didn't have the Healing Shoes would be to just wait until they wanted to sleep so they could rest and recover their HP and MP, but that would mean that you would lose the entire day, and if you play this game, you know that one day is a lot of time to enjoy with your Digimon. With the Digimon interactions, you can praise or scold your Digimon to have different effects on their relationship with you as a tamer. But most importantly, after an interaction, a small amount of information about their possible Digivolutions is acquired. So after several of those interactions, you start to have a pretty good idea on how to Digivolve into a particular Digimon you want. We cannot deny that in the original Digimon World from the PS1, the excitement of a new Digivolution was the best part of the game for most of us. But we cannot deny either that having no idea whether or not you were doing the right thing to get the Digimon you wanted was also probably one of the worst parts of the game. But bro, the surprise was what made it magical. Having no idea which one you would get, and like, I have never needed to look up the Digivolutions anyway. No. Just no, okay? If someone told me that they have been playing Digimon World for 25 years and they have never looked up on how to Digivolve into Skullgreymon or Etemon or any other Digimon, I'm sorry, but I do not believe you. Besides, if you really felt like that, you could simply ignore all Digimon interactions and keep every Digimon information hidden forever in this game as well. So you cannot argue that this was not an improvement in the game. King-size Digimon. This was a great idea that had an incredibly positive impact on my gameplay. As I have mentioned previously, the city of Floatia or Floatia or whatever offers a myriad of services for every area of the game, but some of those services can be quite expensive. At some points in the game, I saw myself struggling a bit to buy food and region items for my Digimon. That was before I had fought the king-size Digimon though. These guys drop very rare items along with a lot of money. The king-size Digimon fights spawn randomly in normal areas that are populated by enemies. Their existence in the game improves the battling system because they are a lot stronger and feel like a mini-boss with greater rewards too. They improve the Floatia services because you can farm money more quickly and actually use some of the expensive services there. It improves the navigating system because king-size Digimon are a pleasant surprise to find when going from point A to point B, and the raising of your Digimon, because you can find king-size Digimon while farming battle victories to meet the Digivolution's requirement. Before we go to the conclusion, I have a honorable mention here for you guys. I could not find the right place in the video to fit this, but I simply cannot avoid talking about something that, even though it changes almost nothing in the gameplay, made me absolutely happy for its artistic value. The collectible Digimon cards. During your playthrough, you will meet and recruit Myotismon. In Floatia, he reveals the cards you sometimes find by collecting materials. you can later visit him at the museum to check your card collection. This was a great homage to the same kind of collection we had in the first game, but the collecting system in Digimon World 1 was pretty harsh if you wanted the full collection. You had to literally pay for each card in a sort of slot machine in order to eventually get lucky and complete your collection. In Next Order though, you just get them pretty much by accident as you collect your materials anyway. Not only that, but the number of cards is way bigger. I'm pretty sure many Digimon depicted in the cards are not even present in the game. Collecting and looking at these cards now is so relaxing and pleasurable that it almost feels like an apology for the brutal gambling system from the first game. To sum it up, the art on the cards look beautiful, and finding out it existed really brought a smile to my face. Well, I think that was it. If you watched the video so far, it's no secret to you that I have a very positive opinion on this game. It's not perfect, I know, but I understand that as a game developer, you usually have to sacrifice a few things here and there in order to perfect the things that really mattered in your game. And I truly believe that Digimon World Next Order has received all the love and all the hard work that people working on it could give. It's clear that the objective of the developers was to upgrade the beloved original game from the PS1, and you can feel that whoever participated in the making of this game has played a lot of Digimon World from 1999 and knew precisely how to make that game look better for a more modern era of gaming. As much as I love this game, I do have to admit that this game is just not for everybody. It has some inevitable grinding, and some people don't like the fact that you are constantly losing your Digimon and starting over. But I still believe that the progress in this game was designed to be a great support for that process of life and death of your partners. Yes, you have a baby Digimon again, but this time it's a bit stronger, you have more helpers in the city, you keep the new moves that you learn, and you understand more about the game. So technically, yes, you start over, but the progress is still there. In that sense, it's really similar to a roguelike game, if you've ever played one of those. Also, this game is not full of action or mechanically demanding from players. It is closer to a micromanaging strategy pet simulator game. And that's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. With that said, if you, like me, loved the first game in the Digimon World series and you wanted more, this is an absolute 10 out of 10 game for you. I will even say that while I was playing Next Order, I was trying to think of ways to make it better, and honestly, I couldn't. It is a very polished game on what it is trying to do. Maybe in 5 years I will look back to this video and eat my words, but I stand for them for now. This game is a gem for Digimon World fans, and if you haven't picked it up yet and you like Digimon, I highly recommend it. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to check my playthrough of Digimon World Next Order, click the link in the description or check out my channel. Thanks again, and as always, I will be back. Oh my god, it's actually over. Oh my god, what a journey this has been. Oh my god. I can't believe it's over. It's been so long. I've been recording this. This is my first game to record in this channel. Certainly the first to finish. And I liked it. I'm so glad it was this game, because this is my childhood dream. It's this game. This was a Digimon World from PlayStation 1. Better in every way. Every way. The Digivolutions were more fun, more variety, more different combinations. DNA, even the DNA Digivolution that brings you back one stage from Digimon World 2 is back. Oh, so many things. The items are better, so many new systems, the cooking, every single thing I used the building system, I used the cooking system, I used restaurants, which I never used in the first game. I never used it because it was so expensive and so weird to use. I used everything. Wow. Even the grinding, yes, the grinding is very hard, but it was made so much more fun and better. So everything is better. Everything. Maybe I'll make a specific video just as a review of this game. And if you watched so far, if you watched this last episode, thank you so much. If you watched the whole series, I cannot thank you enough, man. I hope I can give you more content better than this. And I hope you can stay with me for some next adventures. And that's it for today. As always, I will be back. So, thanks again and bye-bye.